Hey everyone, it's Rihanna and welcome back to another film review today. I am so excited to finally be talking about The Revenant, which is the new film directed by Alejandro González Iñárritu, and I have been anticipating this film for such a long time. Birdman was my favourite film of 2014, and to hear that Alejandro González Iñárritu and Emmanuel Lubezki were teaming up again with Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hardy in a film about survival was music to my ears, and I was highly anticipating The Revenant just because I had heard so many great things about it. The trailers looked great, and did it disappoint me? Absolutely not. Let's talk about The Revenant. So The Revenant is based off true events and follows a group of men on a fur trading expedition, and one of the group members, Hugh Glass, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, is left for dead by his men after a bear brutally attacks him. Set in the wilderness of 1820, Hugh Glass must survive throughout this harsh cold winter and maybe get some revenge. First things first with Revenant, if you're going into this film expecting an extremely detailed plotline, extremely detailed and background characters that you're gonna like and relate to and you're gonna have a laugh with, that is not The Revenant whatsoever. The storyline is pretty thin in this movie. It's all about the fight for survival, it's all about the acting and the techniques that were used to make this film. Leonardo DiCaprio plays Hugh Glass, who is left after being brutally attacked by a bear, and you can see this transformation in Leonardo DiCaprio. For a guy who's never been attacked by a bear, Leonardo DiCaprio definitely drags you through the pain of what he's gone through in this film. And his young son as well, you can see the love he has for his young son and the betrayal from his men as well. The fact that it is a very, very physical role meant that he didn't actually get that much dialogue in the film, which I thought was quite a pity because I would just have liked to have seen more range in his acting, but you definitely rooted for his character and you could see the full-on transformation. I really, really hope he gets the Oscar for this year. You really, really see this kind of hatred to the character of John Fitzgerald, who is the one that initially kind of leaves him behind. He's played by Tom Hardy and he's a character you love to hate. From the word go, he's kind of jealous of Hugh Glass and you can just really hate his character. But Tom Hardy did a great job in the role. He did need to kind of speak up at points. I did have trouble hearing what he was saying in terms of dialogue, but he was just so into character that I didn't care. Not only did Tom Hardy as John Fitzgerald do a good job, I thought Will Poulter did a good job and Domhnall Gleeson did a good job as well. All the supporting cast in this film were really great, but obviously Leonardo DiCaprio is the standout performance. And as I said, the characters in this film, like John Fitzgerald and like Hugh Glass, they aren't incredibly detailed, but they don't need to be. You just need to see their humanity, and you definitely see that in this film. Although Leonardo DiCaprio did a phenomenal job with his physical acting in this film, I think the real stars of the show are Emmanuel Lubezki, who is the cinematographer of the film, and Alejandro González Iñárritu, who is the director of the film. These two as a pair just make magical things happen, and as I said, they used on-location shooting and natural lighting, and you can just see the detail that Emmanuel Lubezki has put into this film. He literally has just poured his soul into this film. It's something that we've never seen before, and I honestly don't know where he was standing with the camera at some points. I'd be like, is Emmanuel in a tree? Is Emmanuel underwater? The lengths that Emmanuel Lubezki went to get these gorgeous landscape shots with this gorgeous natural lighting is ridiculous. He is the master of light, and honestly, the cinematography in this film blew me away. There is a reason that Emmanuel Lubezki is one of my favourite cinematographers, and this is one of the main reasons, because he likes to take risks and goes that extra step further. And how Alejandro González Iñárritu directs this film is incredible. How he drags you through this fight for survival, and I mean drags because this film is incredibly long. You feel the length, but it's a great thing because this film is a slow burn, it's intense, you're waiting for things to happen, and something hasn't happened in so long that when it happens you're shocked and it kind of just hits you right in the face. And I love the way that Alejandro González Iñárritu builds tension in this film, especially with the score and the imagery and just these long shot takes that him and Emmanuel Lubezki do in this film. They are incredible. There's one in the beginning of this film that's kind of one long take with action in it, and I just sat there mind blown at how they did this filmmaking. It's an act of physical filmmaking, and oh my goodness, it just blew my mind and hooked me from the word go. From that scene onwards, I was completely glued to my screen, my heart was pumping, my teeth were gritted, I was dry in the mouth from having my mouth open for so long. Lubezki really does strike again with his cinematography. There is symbolism in this film, but it doesn't necessarily shove it in your face. It's just gorgeous and makes you really think about what the story is about rather than what is actually happening on screen. There's a lot of questionable and ambiguous shots in this film that I just found fascinating to look at, especially in the end of the film. It really just gripped me. I don't think I've ever seen a film that is more realistically shot than this film, with the on location, with the natural lighting. It looks absolutely gorgeous, and I love the brutality and blood in this film. There was an article quite recently that said women can't enjoy The Revenant. That article is complete bullshit, okay? Complete and utter bullshit, because I absolutely adored how violent and brutal this film was. It was gut punching. It literally hits you in the face from the word go, from this scene I was talking about earlier that I absolutely adored. You were just hit with the brutality and the realism of what these guys' life is like, what they really went through. The Revenant is a fight for survival, and I wouldn't expect anything less when it comes to the bloodshed and the brutality of this film. If it didn't have it in there, it wouldn't be as realistic, it wouldn't be as intense, and it wouldn't have punched you in the face as hard as it did. And although I loved The Revenant as a film, I can definitely point out flaws in this film, and the pacing, for one, is a definite flaw, and it can either be seen as a good thing or a bad thing, because it is such a long film, and you feel its length, you feel the struggle that Hugh Glass is going through, you really go on this journey with him, and that's a great thing about the pacing and the length of this film. One of the cons is that if you hate this film from the word go, if you hate it from the first couple of scenes, you're going to be waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for something to happen, and you're going to be probably bored out of your mind. And this film isn't going to be for everyone, and I will say that is a flaw in the movie. And I will say that Tom Hardy not speaking clear enough in his dialogue is probably going to bug some people, but I loved him so much in the role just because he got so into it that it doesn't even bother me anymore. Although some of the long shots and some of the long scenes in this film probably could have been cut down or taken out of the film just to cut down its length as a whole, none of them were terrible. I absolutely love The Revenant, I love the brutality. Alejandro González Iñárritu and Emmanuel Lubezki make magic in this film with the natural lighting and the on-location shooting. They are the real stars of the show. I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio does a fantastic job with his physical acting in this film, and you really feel his pain, but the direction is brutal and you are just dragged through this incredibly long film that is so satisfying to watch in the end. I can see how The Revenant wouldn't be everyone's cup of tea, but it definitely was my cup of tea. It exceeded all expectations for me. I only had a few problems with it, so I'm going to be giving The Revenant an epic win. So if you guys have seen The Revenant, which I'm pretty sure most of you have, let me know what you thought of it down below in the comments, and what would you like to see Alejandro González Iñárritu and Emmanuel Lubezki do next? And do you think Leo deserves the Oscar? If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing lots more TV reviews and movie reviews for you guys very soon. All my social media links, including my Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and Letterboxd, will be down below in the description. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!